Today I'm going to be hauling some grain to the feed mill. We take grain there every fall during harvest so that we have grain available for our sheep feed and our other feeds that we get made. So I'm going to go get hooked up to the wagon and get that taken up to the mill. So I got my wagon all hooked up. You can see the corn in the wagon there. So I'm going to take this to the mill. They're going to weigh it for me and we'll convert that to bushels. We know how many bushels each ton of feed makes. So once I know how many bushels is in this wagon, I will see if I need to take up more to last us through the rest of next year. I just got back to where I picked up the wagon at. We dropped off roughly 170 bushels the first load, so I came back to get a little bit more. We think that we'll need a little bit more than that, and we want to get all our hauling done today. I just got back from taking the grain to the mill. So we took approximately 260 bushels of corn today to the mill. We know that will probably help us feed all of the lambs for next year. Because we know how much we feed them and we weigh out their feed every single time, we know roughly how much grain it'll take. So that's one of the planning steps that we use to make sure that we have enough grain at the mill on grain bank to make the feed for our lambs.
So the ram's been in with this pen of ewes for 17 days, so today we need to change the crown over to a darker color so we can see which ones he's with then. We kind of noticed one of the ewes has some fresh orange paint on her today, so we'll keep an eye on her in about 17 days to see if she gets marked with this blue paint or not. So I'll swap this out. So I'm putting on the new color crown, the blue crown. I kept the old pin when I pulled it out that holds it into the harness, and it's a good thing I did because it's the same brand crown, it's just a different color, and the pin that came with it, I'll put it through here in the orange one, was about a little bit too small to actually twist over. So I just had to put the orange pin back in, twist it over, it'll work fine for what we're doing with it. Well, it's been a week. The new steers have been pinned up. They seem to be doing okay, very energetic, pretty friendly. So what we're going to do is open up the whole front pasture to them so they share a fence line with the existing steers that we had. That way they all get to know each other a little bit without just turning them all loose. So I got to run some electric wire around this lean-to so that way I can kind of trap them off so they're not going to have behind the lean-to anymore, but they'll have the whole front rest of the pasture. So we'll put that up right now and then get them turned loose and then call in the other steers and watch them all meet. So we got the new wire all hooked up. It's not the prettiest, but it'll last for this temporary time, just getting them all used to each other. We got it ran through these little connectors. They're just plastic. Drilled a pilot hole, screwed them into these posts. The wire slips down through there just to keep them insulated so they won't short out. Got it ran through these posts up top. That's what I was putting in. So we got it hooked here to the fence. It runs over there to the top part of the building. They can still get underneath this to access this back area, but they'll have this whole front area after today. And like I said, it's just going to be temporary, maybe for only like a week or so, just while they get used to each other. Then we'll put them in all together. So now I'm going to take down this temporary wire that I had locking them in this area and get some hay and get them out and call in the other steers up to the feeding floor. Because I'm going to move their water tank down there so it's in that area, makes it easier to fill closer to the water hydrant. So I got my bale, part of a bale of hay here. You can kind of see these guys are getting interested in following me. So we'll run them down here to the bottom. So you can see they're back there checking out the fence. That's normally what anytime new steers that come here, they want to run the edge of the fence just to kind of see what their parameters are, see what they can get away with, I guess. So now I need to pull up these temporary poles I had out that kept them up here in the lean-to in this back section and roll this wire up because we'll use this again for the exact same thing. We got a heifer we know coming, and we need to get a couple more steers, somewhere between 2 to 4 more for 2022 steers, which the 2 smaller ones, which was white tags, they'll be for 2022, and the 2 with yellow tags in them, the ones we just got, they'll be heading to the processor into December 2021. Basically, those will be the steers that we'll have for our 2022 winter markets. So we're planning on that being in effect at that time. So it's just, you got to plan pretty far out to have product, beef at that time. So that's what we have now, and we'll get them up to that point.